What is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku, back with another video. And so today we are going to do the third episode of basically the news, the news happening in media, basically, by yours truly, the SS Ultimate Goku. So we're going to cover various topics like we've done the previous two episodes, as you all know. We got a lot of things to talk about. There's a lot of things coming out and a lot of different things for anime, movies, whatnot. Bunch of stuff out there to talk about, and we're going to cover this. So first thing we are going to cover, which was something that broke today, was the Cowboy Bebop live action series that is coming exclusively to Netflix. It is going to be a television series, and there is a cast that was announced today, which we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about this. So basically, the Cowboy Bebop is an anime. We all know it. It's pretty much more known here than it is actually even in Japan. It's one of the fewest animes where it's like more people know about it here than in Japan. Not many people in Japan really cared about Cowboy Bebop, but when it got over here, it was very, very big. And so Netflix, being the people that want to get into the anime game, they wanted to do a live action series of this. So they are. Basically, today we found out the cast, and I'm going to talk about the cast right now as I pull this up. To talk about the actors and whatnot. We don't really know about the plot. I'm going to assume they're just basically doing what the anime did, or at least that's what I'm hoping they're doing. So this up. Alrighty, so the announcement was basically for the main characters. Spike Spiegel was casted as John Chio. It's an actor. I'm not sure exactly much about him, but it says in a brief thing here he's done. It doesn't actually show his brief summary here, but I'm sure he'll do good. I mean, I don't exactly know what they were going for in terms of who they wanted to cast in the Cowboy Bebop television series, but a lot of people were pleased by this. He is an Asian American. I personally don't really, as long as the character, it makes sense. It makes sense to why they're this character. I don't exactly know if Spike is, just because he's from Japan, it doesn't necessarily mean he's Japan. I don't know. We can't really say for sure. Yada, yada, yada. It would be like saying, Goku's Japan because he's from Japan. You know what I'm saying? he's not. He's an alien. But people want to say that stuff. But like, so I'm not exactly sure. Again, also I want to not confuse people right now. This is going to be like English. Like, it's not going to be like a Japanese thing where then they get like the anime voice actors to dub over and stuff like that. This is actually going to be English actors. So yeah. So that was Spike, and then for Jet we got I have no idea how to say his name. I'm sorry. Musafra, I think. Something. Sorry. But yeah, we got Jet. Like I said, I can't really say who this is. So then we have Faith, who is Diano something. Again, I don't know how to say these names. I haven't heard of these actors, by the way. So if you guys have heard of these actors, then good on you. I haven't heard of them, so I'm not sure. And then Victorious, wow, I just said that wrong, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, he's here too. It doesn't give him his name, the actor here. That's weird. It does not. Vance. Or no, Vic's R. Why did I just say that? Whatever, you guys know what I mean. Anyways, screwing up these names already. But I can't find the actors here, which kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't know who this. It's not saying on the browser what his name is. Hold on. No, it doesn't even show it on the tweet. So I'm sorry, I won't be able to say what his name is because it's not showing for some reason. Oh, okay, here it is. Alex Hassler or something like that. I don't know how to say his name. So yeah, there's that. I apologize for the name mistakes here on that. Also, I want to just say that Netflix, as kind of a joke, when someone had asked, what about Ed? They said, Ed is Ed, which I thought was funny. But people were like, okay, seriously, who's Ed gonna be? Ed is Ed. But I just thought it was kind of funny. They kept putting gifs like in the feed there, like who Ed was gonna be. Only thing is like, I mean, well, technically, I mean, Steve Bloom can't be like the acting character. He can only be the voiceover of the character, but like. Yeah, that's going to be really weird, because Steve Bloom really kind of just sold that character for Spike. And I'm not exactly sure, like I said, if this guy that's playing Spike is going to, John, if he's going to take kind of Steve Bloom's, like, ideas, interpretations of the character, or not. Well, we'll find out, but I mean... kind of hoping for that. So it's going to be really interesting to see where they go. I even tweeted, I was like, quite interesting. Can't imagine hearing Spike's voice without. So, I don't know. We don't know who the rest of the cast is, but it looks like they're taking it seriously. I'm thinking, and this is just what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that since the series, since this is a live action televised series, I'm thinking it's going to be something where it's more inclined to being it's more inclining to be like divided up into 2 seasons, because there's only 1 season of Cowboy Bebop for the anime. So I'm thinking what they're going to do is for this televised series is Netflix is going to divide it up into 2 seasons and have it like be 30. I think, from my understanding, is that what they do 13 episode series or seasons. So I'm thinking, since this is a 24 episode anime and they're making this into a live action Netflix series, it's going to be one of those things where it's divided up into 2 seasons of some sort. So that is what I'm thinking they're going to do for the Cowboy Bebop. That's what I think they're going to do with Cowboy Bebop, the televised live action series here. So yeah, not exactly sure, but we'll find out sooner rather than later. So yeah, good on Cowboy Bebop, and we will see what happens for the Cowboy Bebop television series. I am looking forward to looking into this because, like I said, Cowboy Bebop is a really good show, and I like it, obviously. Like I said, it's going to probably be different because, like I said, these are actors doing this, not voice actors, and, for me personally, like, when I think of Spike, I think of Steve Bloom, because he kind of made that voice, and, like, it's going to be kind of different without him doing it, of some sort, or being involved in it. So we will see what happens for that. So we're going to move on to Toonami. If you are in my Discord chat, which that link is in the description box if you aren't, but I had reported that the schedule has been changed again. So for anybody who doesn't know, about last week, Toonami announced they were changing the schedule after this week to for April 13th. They were changing the schedule, and basically the biggest casualty was JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. JoJo Bizarre Adventures was going to air at 3 o'clock, and people did not like this decision. A lot of people were very vocal about this on Twitter, and were not happy about the change. I was happy with the change. I don't think JoJo is doing that good, and the ratings kind of show that it's not doing that good. But a lot of people were going after Jason DeMarco and saying, oh, this was all DeMarco's doing and crap like this, and kind of like somewhat harassing him, I would say. And DeMarco came out and flat out said that he likes JoJo Bizarre Adventures. Like, there were a lot of these shows that Jason DeMarco puts on, he actually likes. And most of them he does. And, this is the problem with Twitter. You got a lot of people that are bitching and moaning and, not realizing that the problem is the fact that you're not watching it. JoJo, I have said for the past couple of seasons, is not that good. The storyline has been terrible since after they ended season 2. It literally has. They went with the stupid stand direction, and it has been shitty ever since. And the ratings have gone down because JoJo is not that good. When they changed the storyline, they should have just ended it, because the story is not that good. And that's why it was cut to 3 a.m. Okay, and I think it's just really kind of asinine by a lot of these Twitter people, that kind of just bullied people into getting the time changed, or trying to get the time changed. And Jason, kind of pushed for it because Jason likes the show. He actually said he likes the show on Twitter, and people were bashing him for it, that it was his decision. So the new lineup is kind of like I said, the lineup really kind of annoys me, because I thought the lineup was fine the way it was. I didn't have an issue with the lineup they had before they changed it. So we're gonna talk about this lineup change. Like I said, the original lineup. So, like I said, the original lineup was going to be Dragon Ball Super, 11, Sword Art Online, 11:30. Then they were going to have The Promised Neverland, which is going to debut next week, at midnight. Black Clover, 12:30. My Hero Academia, 1 a.m. 1:30 a.m. Naruto, The Next Generation. 2 a.m. Naruto Shippuden. 2:30 Hunter x Hunter. 3 a.m. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, and then it ends with an Attack on Titan rerun episode at 3:30 a.m. But because of the backlash by these Twitters people that just have to whine and complain, it is now going to be this, as I'm going to talk about it right now. It is Dragon Ball Super, 11 o'clock. My Hero Academia, 11:30. The Promised Neverland, midnight. Sword Art Online, 12:30. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, 1 a.m. Black Clover, 1:30 a.m. 2 a.m. Naruto, The Next Adventures. 2:30 a.m. Naruto Shippuden. 3 a.m. Hunter x Hunter. And then the rerun of Attack on Titan at 3:30 a.m. I think this was absolutely asinine to have done this. And I'm really pissed because Naruto got pushed back. Black Clover got pushed back to its original time. And I think Black Clover should have been an early time slot. Like I said, Boruto, I don't like Boruto being pushed back. I think is kind of bull because it's a newer show, and I think it's doing a lot better than JoJo because I look at the ratings every week. By the way, from the data poll, it's doing better than JoJo. To all you little Twitter bullies out there that bullied Jason into doing this, or bullied Toonami really into doing this, because I mean they were all. A lot of people on Twitter were pissed about it, and they had the little bitch complaining about it. But of course, that's what I don't like about Twitter. People complain, but don't look at the data facts. They don't look at the data facts. And for people that are going to come on here and say that I'm being so, biased towards JoJo because I don't like JoJo, keep in mind there are many Toonami shows that I had that got canceled. So I would be grateful that you got JoJo still, because I never got a Zatch Bell English dub season 3, never finished, because of the whole Toonami or Cartoon Network going a different direction, and they were going live action, and they ultimately canceled Toonami because of that. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX never got a dub. Okay, for season 3. Or season 4, I'm sorry. Season 4, Zatch Bell never got a dub for season 3. So, to all you people that are complaining, you should be happy that you at least get your dub. Okay? All you guys that are bitching about how JoJo was going to be moved to 3 a.m., that complained about it, should be ashamed of yourselves. Okay? Because at least you get your show. Oh, people are like, oh, I can't stay up that long, or oh, this, or oh, that. Stay up. Tape. DVR it. What the frig? Okay? Stop freaking complaining. If you really wanted it that much, you should be watching it more. Obviously, the data doesn't lie. Okay? And this is what I'm talking about, and these people on Twitter complain about it, and then they wonder, oh, what? Guess what? You didn't watch it much. Because if you did watch it, you wouldn't have to worry about it being at that time, because it would be at a prime time, like Dragon Ball Super is. To all the people that might be complaining about Dragon Ball Super, okay, being, at the earliest time. There's a reason why Dragon Ball Super is first. There's a reason. Because it gets the most ratings. Okay? There's a reason why My Hero Academia is where it is. Because it gets the ratings. Okay? Be happy that you get the dub. Okay? Hunter x Hunter, it only gets a dub because of Toonami. Alright? Viz Media had the rights for like a couple of years before it even it went to Toonami, and then that was why they decided to dub it, because of it. So be grateful, because some of these people that I've seen on Twitter, oh my god, be grateful that you get a dub, okay? Because I've had shows that I've liked on Toonami canceled, and not even get a finished product. You should be happy that at least you get a finished product out there. Okay? Because JoJo would not be dubbed right now if it wasn't for Toonami even airing it. So be grateful. And think about that the next time you bitch and you complain about your show being moved to a later time. I think that was such an asinine thing by the fans to do that. Okay? I think that was an asinine thing to do to the fans, because it wasn't at the time you wanted. At least it wasn't canceled. Okay? At least it wasn't canceled. My shows have been canceled, okay, and not finished because of circumstances. Your show is moved to a different time because it's not doing that well. Okay? That's what I got to say about that. Okay? To people that are complaining about JoJo Bizarre Adventures. Think about that next time when your thing gets moved to a different time. If it isn't getting full-blooded canceled, you have nothing to bitch about. If your show is not canceled, you have no reason to bitch just because of time switch. That's what I want to say about the people that are complaining about this whole time schedule thing. Okay? So as we move on here to my next tidbit. To my next tidbit of news here, like I said, and again, it's not all you guys that did this, but I'm just, not everyone did this, but I'm just saying, don't do this shit, okay? Because that's just insane. Your show wasn't canceled, you have no right to bitch because of a time switch, okay? They let you know ahead of time so you wouldn't, okay? Okay, so getting into Dragon Ball Super now, because we're going to talk about Dragon Ball Super, something more important than JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. We're talking about Dragon Ball Super because obviously, and no, we are not talking about future Dragon Ball Super stuff. We are talking about current Dragon Ball Super, as in dub stuff, right now. Not right now. Okay, so currently we are at episode 104, just aired last Saturday. We are going to have episode 105 aired, and we are, as of this Saturday, we will be we'll be about four episodes away from episode 109, which people are hyped for because that is supposed to be a double featured episode, and I've been getting asked about this a lot, if this is going to be a double header. As of right now, no, but there's no confirmation it won't be, or not a confirmation it will be. So, it will be about a month. It would be at the beginning of May. And I'm not sure if any shows are going to be ending by that point, or if they'll just extend another half an hour. I'm not exactly too sure. I hope Toonami does it, but again, I can't give any news or confirmation that this, in fact, will be happening. They've recently, obviously, for now 2 weeks, are doing double headers on Sword Art Online. But that doesn't necessarily mean we are going to eventually get a 2-episode for Dragon Ball Super. Though I would think they would, because, I mean, it's Dragon Ball Super and obviously has the most ratings out of every show currently on Toonami right now. It's not necessarily something they want to do. They might want to milk Dragon Ball Super as much as they can. Since it's clear they don't want to show double header episodes. So, I mean, that could be the reason. I expect us to find out in about 3 weeks. When we get to either 107, after 107 is over, or maybe even after 108. They could do it as late as that. But that is where I expect, around that area, and obviously we're not there yet because we are airing episode 1, or they are airing episode 105 this coming up week. So that is where we are at right now in terms of the doubleheader news, because this is what people keep asking me about, of if they're going to do this or not. I don't know if they're going to do this. I don't know, guys, if they're going to do this. And I don't have any sources or anything to go on if they will or not. So that's all I can really comment about, if or when they decide to do a double header for episode 109 and 110 being aired in the same week. That's really all I can comment about that matter. So yeah, and also, by the way, Dragon Ball Super is doing really good. So, getting really, really into it, guys. I hope also in the whole, if there will be a Dragon Ball Super Part 2, if there will be, I hope it does not even get remotely announced until the English dub version of Dragon Ball Super right now, which is Part 1, I guess, is finished. So then we don't have to wait another year for it to get dubbed in America. I just would love us just to go right into it. So yeah, that's my kind of whole tidbit on that. So next we're going to talk about the Dragon Ball Super Broly DVDs that are DVD and Blu-rays that are coming out April 16th. They are coming out. There's a lot of buy or pre-order confusion. So I'm going to go over with this right now. First of all, there's a lot of issues, and this is one of the biggest things with Funimation. that I have been saying for years, but is only now recently, because of unforeseen circumstances that I won't get into, because it's just toxic as all hell. But because of unforeseen circumstances, Funimation seems to have gotten a lot of their information incorrect. So for the pre-order, for Funimation's website, if you pre-order it on their website, you can get a Goku desktop thing or whatever, exclusively on Funimation's website, their shop zone. And unfortunately, it is sold out. I just actually was going to pre-order a couple days ago, and because I had to get enough money, because you know how you gotta work, you gotta get that money. You know what I'm saying? To get stuff. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it. So I'll probably just wait for it to come out to buy it, because the pre-order exclusives, doesn't really matter to me at that point. It's not really like it's like Revival of F anyways. Revival of F, I felt like the pre-order exclusives were so much better anyways. Like, they didn't really give us anything. Like, with the Revival of F, pre-order, they gave us like a collector's edition, with like the cards in it, and they gave us they actually gave us a t-shirt too. That was another thing they gave us. They gave us a free Shenron t-shirt. I felt like Funimation really lacked in the pre-order department for this movie, and considering the fact that this movie was a lot better than Revival of F in terms of, well, not in terms of the movie, but in terms of the money that was made for it, I'm actually quite surprised that the pre-orders were kind of lackluster. But Funimation, basically, here's all the pre-order exclusives. Funimation Now, or Funimation Shop Zone, gets you get a Goku desktop thing, which is sold out. But of course, as I said, there was miscommunication with that, and I'll get into this right now. It is in fact sold out. However, Funimation yesterday put out a Twitter tweet saying that it was still available. That is actually false. It is not available. Again, this is another miscommunication, and I got confirmation by the Funimation community manager on the Funimation forums that this was actually in fact false, and this was something that the, I guess, social media team on Twitter weren't aware of. But it is sold out. So if you did pre-order it before it's sold out, you will get it. But right now, as of this recording, you won't be able to buy it anymore. However, Right Stuff, if you buy it on Right Stuff, or pre-order on Right Stuff, you can get Vegeta, a Vegeta desktop. That is exclusively from Right Stuff, and they are not sold out on theirs. Not surprising, because Goku is better than Vegeta. But anyways, so yeah, there's that. Now, if you pre-order at Best Buy exclusively, you get a basically steel book cover. So instead of getting the regular cover, you get like a steel booklet cover instead, or whatever. So if you like those, get it at Best Buy, I guess, because they're selling them there exclusively. So now I recently found out news via Funimation's brilliant Twitter account that today they announced that if you pre-order at FYE, you will get a Dragon Ball Z poster while supplies last. I'm not exactly sure what the poster is. I tweeted at them what the poster is. At this time, I have not gotten a response. Even people on their website were saying, we're just learning about this now. Again, I don't exactly know what's going on with the Funimation social media team, but they seriously need to be more informed. I'm not saying it's completely their fault, because I'm sure there's more components into it but there has to be a better communication. I mean, I have been like on the forums for a while, and I have seen all this inconsistency stuff through Funimation's social media team, and there needs to be something done, because I've said it before and it hasn't really ever gotten noticed. You know, if you go on the Funimation forums, I have publicly posted stuff from a few years ago, you know, talking about all these issues. And this is something that really needs to be addressed, either if they're getting more staff or being more informed, I don't know. But Funimation has had serious lack of communication. They don't update any stuff. You know, they haven't updated about the mob dub, which obviously that really isn't their fault. It's more of Crunchyroll's fault because it's their dub. But they still announced it on their streaming site for the winter season, and obviously it's not really winter anymore. So they should kind of update what's going on, or at least say, you know, we can't show it right now or something, you know, because, you know, it's delayed thanks to Crunchyroll. I don't know. Something. But again, it's the biggest issue with Funimation's lack of communication through their social media algorithms that really needs to be addressed for us fans. You know, I've been saying it for a few years, and it's only come full circle because of this whole drama going on right now in, you know, the anime community. But like I said, I'm not going to talk about that because, again, that is just toxic BS right now. But my point being is, I had been saying this for a while about Funimation's, you know, their tech team and all this stuff. There needs to be serious more communication through everybody there. Like I said, I'm not saying it's completely the social media team's fault, because obviously they're just trying to put stuff out there, but you know, it leads me to believe that they're not being informed about stuff, you know, updated stuff from the higher ups like they should be. That's what it leads me to believe, especially when I see tweets coming out like this yesterday after the tech team flat out told me in an email 2 days before the Funimation Twitter team or social media team posted out that this Goku desktop thing was still available for pre-order, and yet it wasn't anymore, because I literally was told via email from the tech team 2 days before that no, it's not available. But yet the social media team kept insisting. As a matter of fact, they were tweeting it 3 different times to other users that were asking about it, that no, it is not available. It is not available, but they kept saying it was available. So that is a huge issue, and it needs to be addressed. It proves that something is not going on correctly for these guys. They don't know what's going on. They should know what's going on because they're on a social media team, and they should be informed about all this stuff, but it doesn't feel like they're being informed about updated stuff. So yeah, that is a big issue, and it really needs to be addressed. Okay, so for anyone who has not seen my video about Code Geass, you know, dubcast announcement, you know, please go check it out, because I basically talk about all the actors and, you know, the characters that are being played. What I'm going to talk about here is, you know, really there isn't really any new information about what's going on besides, you know, the cast announcement, which still to this day, the Funimation Twitter account has yet to have been informed, it seems like. But then again, it feels like that the social media team is usually never updated about anything at this point, because after the whole Goku desktop pre-order thing, it leads me to believe that they are not informed correctly by the tech team, because the tech team told me that it was sold out, but yet the social media team weren't aware of this. Um, it makes me believe that there's not a really good communication between the two, and there should be. But so we're gonna go on the casting announcement. There has yet to be an English trailer posted. We are now beginning of April. They announced it actually on April Fool's Day, the cast, or at least updated the Funimation Films website of the cast, but have yet to have a trailer posted. Now, the Code Geass movie comes out in early May. The dub will be out the 7th and the 8th. They will have a postcard available while supplies last at each theater, so you guys can go check that out. That will be really good for you all to have a chance at getting a postcard. So like I said, English dubs will be 7th and 8th, and the subs will be the 5th. So you'll see the sub, you have an option to see the sub first. Obviously, I'm going to see the dub first. Or I'm going to see the dub, period. Like, I'm not going to see the sub at all. But you have that option. I'm assuming, since we're at the, beginning of April, I believe within the next week we're going to get an English dub trailer, because they had made the announcement on April Fool's Day, which was weird in itself. Well, they didn't really even make an announcement. They didn't even really announce it. They just kind of put it up on the website, because it didn't even have the website didn't even have the it coming out in 2019. It didn't even have it until they put it out with the dub cast on there. So they didn't even have that ready. So they're kind of just putting the stuff out as they go along. So I'm assuming within the next week we're going to hear the trailer, because they got to have an English trailer for it. And we're only like 3 weeks away from the actual dubbed premiere. So I imagine we're going to hear the trailer soon for Code Geass. But at this time, there's really nothing left. No real news besides what I already talked about, the actors being announced. Pretty much everybody that did their original role for their set character from the Bandai era of the dub of the anime are coming back. Colin Koski's voice actress is coming back, which I thought was really cool. And everyone else pretty much too, but that one was probably the big one to hear about, since we pretty much knew all the other ones were coming back, because a lot of them had worked on with the OVA series the year earlier. But it's really good seeing them back. The biggest surprises were that there were 2 really non-anime voice actors / voice actors at all, regular actors, being in there and actually being credited as it, not using no alias or whatever actually using their real name and doing this anime, I think is really cool. So yeah, a lot of things coming out for the Code Geass movie. Hopefully we will hear some new news about the English dub soon, like an English dub trailer, which would be really cool. But at this time, that is all I can really cover about the Code Geass movie. So next, we're going to talk about the 20th Century Fox Disney merger deal. Now, I kind of already touched on this, but there's a lot of things that are going on, a lot of rumblings now that it officially has closed, and people are still wondering what is going to happen, what is going to happen with Marvel and all this stuff. So here's the thing, okay. nothing, I repeat, nothing is going to come right away from Fox into Disney. Okay, nothing. Okay, nothing. Okay, that is just a simple explanational answer we can give you. And I know this is not what people want to hear, but this is what you're going to hear. The fact of the matter is businesses don't work overnight. They don't. They just don't, regardless of mergers. Okay, mergers happen. It does not go into effect right away. Okay? You know, when you go to stores and they get sold, you know, if there's leases or buildings are sold, leases gotta still be put into effect and they gotta be run out. And it's the same thing here. Okay, Dark Phoenix is still gonna be in the theaters. New Mutants is still going to be in the theaters. They were done. Contracts were signed. Everything was done. It's going to come out in the theaters. Okay. Fantastic Four, they can't even start working on Fantastic Four until they talk to Constantine, which is some German company that actually owns the Fantastic Four, by the way. They own the Fantastic Four. They work with 20th Century Fox, which is why Fox owns it, because they made a deal with them a long time ago. So that is why that is happening. So Fantastic Four might be what Kevin Feige wants to do first. The problem is there's a lot of things that got to be worked out in that whole thing. X-Men pretty much is a stable franchise, but it's too fresh. Kevin Feige has a bunch of things going on right now. A bunch of movies coming out. And the fact of the matter is the Fox stuff right now is the least of everybody's worries right now. Okay? They have other movies and other stuff they have to focus on before they, slowly start to put these Fox characters into the cinematic universe. And it's going to be a while. X-Men, I don't expect X-Men to be in the MCU for about 4 years. 4 years, I don't see the X-Men being in the MCU. It's too fresh. It's been out there. It's been, they've pretty much have had new movies coming out every year the same time as the MCU has them coming out. As a matter of fact, they were used as competition. The X-Men universe was competition for the MCU. Now it's not going to be competition anymore when they slowly get into the MCU. So they have to, kind of wash it away, so to speak. Let time pass. You know what I'm saying? Let time pass. So then when they do the movie, it's a clean slate. Let people know that this franchise is over. Because if they would do let's say they do an X-Men movie right now. Okay, next year they do a movie of X-Men. Because of Dark Phoenix, it's too close to that a lot of people are going to be like, well, are these connected? Is this connected? Not everyone's going to be aware of this. Okay, so they need to get the perception out there that the X-Men is no more. Like, the X-Men universe is no more. Unless, of course, they decide to do a Secret War with the X-Men characters, which I doubt Kevin Feige wants to do that. But, to me, I think that would make the most logical sense, because that's what they did in the comic books. So, we're talking about comic book consistency would actually kind of make more sense. That they would do a Secret War with the Marvel X-Men characters, because then you can, like, kind of slowly, get rid of them in their movie, but of course that would acknowledge that of their existence, which I don't think Foggy wants. But like I said, I think it would make the most sense. It'd kind of be cool to have the crossover like that. But they don't want to do that. They want to do their own thing. Okay, so that's where this is where this is going to happen. Fantastic Four obviously would never be mentioned. And that's probably why Kevin Feige wants to do the Fantastic Four, because the Fantastic Four is a shit franchise at this point because of what happened in 2015. Not so much because of 2005 and 2007's movies, because those movies were good. 2005's was the best. The sequel was decent. I didn't think the sequel was that bad. But obviously the sequel would hold a candle to the 2015 reboot. But you can't put them there because of the way the franchise is right now. Deadpool is probably going to be the only franchise that's going to continue on. I don't exactly know when Deadpool 3 is going to be put in. I'm assuming Deadpool 3 is going to be put in, like, or start production maybe this year or maybe next year. I don't know. But I would assume that Deadpool is going to be put in right away, because they were already working on Deadpool 3, but, obviously Fox being bought, maybe their production scheduling will be different now, because they still have to work in to how Deadpool is going to be in the MCU, because obviously he's probably going to be his character. I'm assuming his characters are going to be in the MCU as well, because people are saying, oh, it's just going to be Deadpool. Okay, people are taking that literally. I think it's going to be Deadpool as well as the rest of the characters in his movies, like his groupies and stuff like that are with him. Obviously not the X-Men characters, but I mean, I'm talking about the characters that like play him. Like, that's what I'm thinking. But Deadpool could literally just go right into the new universe, but they'd have to figure that out, though, how they're going to do that and how they coincides with the third Deadpool from the second Deadpool and the first Deadpool. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff there. And for all the people that are worrying about Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Feige might not be being able to work with one another, because of Ryan Reynolds, he was, he kind of took control of Deadpool 2, by getting Tim Miller out as director, who directed the first one. I don't think that's really the case. Okay, obviously, Ryan Reynolds knows Kevin Feige's track record. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff, there's some discussions how they're going to do it, because they're at the end of the day, I think Ryan and Kevin are going to have to kind of figure something out, because obviously they somehow have to take the Deadpool franchise and somehow put it into the MCU, and I'm sure they're going to have to figure out creatively what to do. Obviously, Deadpool can just break the fourth wall and do it himself. But I'm sure they want to put a better component for that. And I'm sure there's going to be some type of workout ultimately of that. But obviously Kevin Feige's going to have the most say in it. But I'm sure that he's going to let Ryan have some say in it. But he's going to be like, it's going to be on a leash now. You got to remember that. But I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. I really don't. If they decide to do that. And like I said, all these things got to be taken care of gradually. It's and it's not even just Marvel. There's a bunch of different things that have to be gradually taken. Like, what are they doing with the Star Wars movie that's still owned by Fox? Movie 4, which really was the first movie. New Hope. That was still owned by Fox. Okay, what are you going to do with that? Are they going to bring back the fanfare? Because technically they own the music. As we all know, they got rid of the fanfare music the 20th Century Fox fanfare music. Are they going to bring that back? Because technically they own that music now, so they could easily just bring it back, for all the old movies that had the 20th Century Fox logo on it, if they wanted to. There is, a lot of people that think they should just do that, but we'll see if that happens. They own the Batman series now, the 60s series. They own that series now. So it's a good thing the Blu-rays got released when it did. 20th Century Fox finally did the Blu-ray releases of the Batman recently. So at least that's out now. It's just, a lot of stuff's got to happen. And there's a lot of different things that, components that are going to happen. And, there's other properties into this as well that are going to, have to be figured out, not just Marvel. But I want to talk about this kind of, stuff gradually. It's got to gradually happen. You know what I'm saying? It's got to gradually happen, and it's going to eventually happen, but it's going to take a while for it to fully take into effect, where Disney fully takes over. They already are in charge. It's just that, it's kind of like they gotta, totally like transfer everything and, figure stuff out, because obviously there's still stuff left over from when Fox was their own company that still has to be released, and money stuff has to be taken care of. Obviously, there's some people that are losing their jobs, unfortunately, which again really sucks. But this is stuff that has to be, this is the stuff that's got to be taken into account. So a lot of stuff. But that's really all we can talk about this. So another thing that we have to talk about Fox, another thing they're doing, is Terminator. Terminator news. So Terminator is getting a release this year. November 1st, Arnold Schwarzenegger was tweeting it out today that as of November 1st this year, we are getting a new movie, and it is officially, Terminator 6 is officially been titled Terminator Dark Fate. Now, for anyone who's not aware, Terminator Dark Fate is basically the sixth installment of the Terminator franchise. However, it is only going to acknowledge it's only going to acknowledge the first two films. So all the other films will not be acknowledged. It does not. It is not a sequel to Genesis. Genesis is pretty much dead at this point, and kind of really sucks. I actually did like where they were going with Genesis. I thought there needed to be more exploits to it. I didn't also like how Jane. The only thing I hated, of course, I should say, I hated the whole, John Connor turning into a villain or whatever. But I mean, I thought I thought it had potential. I really did. I thought it had potential, and I really was looking forward to seeing where they were going to go with it. Especially with Arnold being a T-1000, I thought that was pretty good. But that is basically scrapped, gone. Again, just like Salvation, was kind of like a good concept, but didn't have Arnold in it, so people didn't like it. I liked Salvation because it had the war concept into it. Like, they were kind of showing the pre-war type stuff, because that's what a lot of people want to see. They want to see the war, what happened in the war, for Terminator and stuff like that. And so I did like the concept of it, but yeah, I do agree about Arnold in it. It was kind of, not really as good, but I mean, I love the action and stuff that they were doing in it. But so Terminator 3 didn't happen in this film. So for anyone who's saying, well, how is Sarah Connor still alive? Well, it's because Terminator 3 never happened. That's right. T3 did not happen, which means Catherine Brewster, who is John Connor's John Connor's wife, she doesn't exist now, which kind of really sucks because in Genesis they never said T3 didn't happen, but they also never acknowledged it. So it kind of sucks because I did like T3. I like that storyline, but now they're basically saying that, Catherine Brewster never existed. And that kind of sucks, because John Connor doesn't have a wife now. Speaking of John Connor, they're not even really, mentioning John Connor for this movie. So I am curious where John Connor's going to be in all of this, in terms of where she's going to fit into all this storyline stuff. Linda Hamilton is coming back. It said Tim Miller was the director for this, who did Deadpool 1. And also, for the first time in a long time, James Cameron will be involved with the franchise. He actually, I believe, if not mistaken, wrote a lot of the stuff that was going on in this for this film. So this is going to be kind of a lot of involvement with James Cameron. As we all know, in 2020, James Cameron will get the full rights to the Terminator film, which is why this deal was kind of struck for them to, just work on the film now. Paramount Pictures gave up on doing the sequel, and they gave it back to James Cameron. Well, they didn't really give it back to him. They're doing the international releases for it, if I'm not mistaken, and Fox is doing the North America releases. And this was done because that was the agreement, was, for them to release it, to start working on it now so they can have it out by this year, because obviously 2020 James Cameron gets the rights back. They're doing the domestic release. Paramount Pictures is handling the domestic releases for it, outside of North America, because or United States, because they did very well over there. Like overseas, they did very well. Like Terminator Genesis did very well overseas. Outside of the United States, not many people were interested in the United States. It didn't make as much in the U.S. unfortunately, which kind of sucks. But it did do very well outside of the U.S. And so that was kind of the agreement, was Paramount would get to do the international releases for it. So they handled it all, and Fox is going to be handling, or I should say now Disney is going to be handling the releases in the United States, because it was originally done by Fox. Fox made the movie because they have an exclusive partnership with James Cameron. That's why they had to make this deal, because James Cameron couldn't have been involved unless it was his property already, because he only can do stuff with 20th Century Fox. But now we'll be doing stuff with Disney, since Disney now officially owns 20th Century Fox. So, I don't know what this is going to lead to for Terminator in the future, because Terminator is kind of, well, technically Terminator is PG-13, however the first one was rated R. I don't know how this is going to affect anything, but it's kind of I don't know what's going to happen for the future of the Terminator films now, but it's looking good from what I've read about it, but we will see. Like I said, November 1st is when it's coming out. So we'll see what happens with the Terminator this year. And I myself am looking for. I'm always looking forward to Terminator films because I'm a huge Terminator fan, obviously. But it's quite interesting to see what they have planned for the film. Like I said, there's actually a lot of pictures you can look if you look at some of these articles too. So there's a lot of different opportunities. And like I said, Terminator Dark Fate will hit the theaters November 1st, 2019. So we will see what happens there. And don't worry, because Arnold Schwarzenegger will be back as the Terminator. So yeah. So another thing I want to talk about is the Lion King trailer. I seen the Lion King. For anyone who doesn't know, Lion King is coming back. Lion King the movie is coming back. Live action movie, not really a live action movie, but it's their basic interpretation of a live action movie because you can't have animal actors, obviously. I seen the trailer for it recently, and it was a really good trailer. I cannot wait to see the Lion King, obviously, because Lion King is a really good movie. I remember watching it as a kid, and it's kind of cool getting to see it. It seems like they're putting the music in there. A lot of the voice actors are different. I think only Mufasa's voice actor is coming back to do, Mufasa. So they're not going to have the same people for like Simba and stuff like that, or Scar. It kind of sucks, but we'll see where they go. If they try to sound like similar to the way the other actors sounded on the animated series. But I am looking forward to seeing the Lion King movie this summer, whenever it comes out. Hopefully it's in July or June, because whether it be an early summer. So yeah. Now, following up to a Disney live-action movie that's coming out soon, because there seems to be a lot of live-action adaptation of their, classic franchises that are coming out for live-action. One of the live-action movies I really would like to see was Mulan, because Mulan is one of the rare Disney movies that is a fighting movie. It has a lot of action in it. And lo and behold, apparently Mulan is going to be coming out next year. There's no trailers for it, but it is coming out in 2020, in March at some point. So I'm looking forward to seeing Mulan whenever it comes out. And I don't think they don't have any trailers. I mean, I don't even know what the plot's going to be, if it's going to be the same thing than what they did before. But I am looking forward to Mulan very, very well. And hopefully they do something really good for it, because, it's got to be taken seriously, because this is an action-type movie. Especially for a Disney movie. It's pretty action for its time, for sure. So, yes, very, very excited about that. With that being said, I believe that is everything I wanted to cover. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching this. Comment, rate. If you like this video or my reviews, please subscribe. And that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace.